Good evening for Sports Buzz. I'm Ethan Dotson.
And I'm Dalton Ewer.
Lincoln and North Knox look to continue their winning ways after both schools celebrated their homecoming with gridiron victories. We'll preview tomorrow night's matchups for both schools.
High school tennis sectionals got underway last night. We will tell you which teams advanced to play tonight for the championship.
And a golfer from South Knox goes to state for the third year in a row. We have all those stories and more right now on Sports Buzz. The Lincoln Alices are 4-2 on the season and transition from homecoming night to senior night as they get set to battle the Evansville North Huskies. Last Friday, Xander Hunt rushed for 3 touchdowns and passed for 2 more as Lincoln breezed past Harrison on homecoming night, 42-7. Jackson Johnson ran for 154 yards, while Kiefer Foster and Jaden Easley both caught touchdowns. The 3-3 North Huskies lost to Class 2A number 5 Mater Dei last week, 23-6, but own an impressive 14-zip win over the Memorial Tigers in Week 2. The Alices and Huskies kick off at Inman Field Friday at 7:30.
The North Knox Warriors are back at 500 for the first time since Week 2, but have a huge test Friday at 2A number 1 Linton. North Knox is also coming off a successful homecoming night as Caleb Bottom rushed for 287 yards and 3 touchdowns to lead the Warriors past Pike Central 35-14. Carter Lindbergh and Avon Saucerman also reached the end zone for North Knox, who led 14-0 at halftime. The unbeaten Miners routed North Davies last week 42-7 and have averaged 51 points per game in their first 6 matchups. The Warriors and Miners get underway at Roy Williams Field Friday at 7.
Elsewhere on Friday, Washington heads to Heritage Hills for a matchup in the Pocket Athletic Conference. The Hatchets have won 2 straight after an 0-4 start to the season after wins over Pike Central and Princeton. Kickoff is Friday at 7:30 Eastern and 6:30 Central.
North Davies will host unbeaten North Decatur on Saturday afternoon. This will be the Cougars' second straight Saturday game, as their field cannot currently host night games due to storm damage last week. Saturday's kickoff is at noon.
Down south, Gibson Southern looks to remain unbeaten as the Titans host Mount Vernon in a PAC game. The defending Class 3A state champs have yet to lose a game this season despite significant graduation losses and much tougher non-conference opponents than last year. Kickoff is Fort Branch is set for Friday at 7 p.m. Central.
Also in the PAC, the Princeton Tigers still seek their first win of the season, and it doesn't get any easier as they head to 4-2 Boonville. The Pioneers' only 2 losses this season were by 13 points to 3A honorable mention Southridge and 10 points to 2A number 1 Linton. The Tigers and Pioneers get underway Friday at 7 p.m. Central.
Over in Illinois, the Lawrenceville Indians have a tough home matchup in the Illini Conference with the Robinson Maroons. The Indians lost a tough one at Casey Westfield last Friday, 12-6, while Robinson is 3-2 after beating Newton. Kickoff Friday at Ed Loeb Field is 7 p.m. Central.
And finally, it is homecoming week in Bridgeport as Red Hill hosts former conference foe Marshall for a Saturday afternoon special. The Salukis are 4-1 and see a Marshall team still seeking its first victory of the season. This one gets underway Saturday at 1 p.m. Central.
The Lincoln High School tennis sectional got underway last night.
Defending champion South Knox will play in the final for the second straight year after sweeping last year's runner-up Washington 5-0. The Spartans did not lose a set, and number 3 singles Caleb Evans won the game's only tiebreaker by 2 points. South Knox improved to 15-8 on the season.
In the other semifinal, Lincoln breezed past Revay 5-0 and improved to 12-12 on the season. The Alice's Luke Hall won the round's only 3-set match, defeating Revay's Tommy Herman 6-2, 5-7, and 6-1. The Alices and Spartans will play for the sectional title tonight.
South Knox Trinity Doves will be making her 3rd trip to the girls golf state finals. The Spartans golfers shot a 3 over par 75 to have the lowest score among non-qualifiers to advance to this weekend's championship in Carmel. South Knox was 10th in the 15-team field, while North Knox was 14th. The top 3 teams advancing were second-ranked Castle, Bedford North Lawrence, and Gibson Southern, who won a tiebreaker over Jasper. Dubs will tee off Friday for her first round at 10:54 a.m. at the Prairie View Golf Club.
Boys soccer results for the final games of the regular season this week include Evansville Rights edged Lincoln last night 2-1. Both teams were scoreless in the first half. The Panthers scored first in the second half, and then the Alices pulled even on a Tegan Johnson score. Rights sealed the win with a late goal. Jonathan Soderling had 13 saves for Lincoln. On Monday, Deegan Parito got his third hat trick of the season as Lincoln routed Sullivan 6-1. The game was scoreless at halftime, but the Alices scored 6 goals in the game's last 40 minutes on their way to the win.
Tuesday, Dakota Candler led the way with 4 goals as South Knox routed North Knox in a county and blue chip clash 7-0. The unbeaten Spartans clinched the blue chip conference title outright with the victory. The Warriors will wrap up their season tonight at West Vigo. There is going to be a new face in the Indiana Boys Soccer State Tournament. VU Broadcasting's J.J. Brown has the details.
The Bari Vikings are fielding a team for the first time in the IHSAA. The Vikings have had a club soccer team since 2019, but this 2022-23 season marks their first appearance in the tournament. The Vikings hosted the Mitchell Blue Jackets in their final home game. They edged the Blue Jackets by a score of 4-2. Their final game of the regular season is Friday, where they will travel to Wood Memorial to play the Trojans. They play their inaugural sectional game on Monday, where they will face fellow blue chip team South Knox. For Sports Buzz, I'm JJ Brown.
Bar Reeve will be playing at the South Knox pitch on Monday. The Class A host Spartans will take on the Vikings at 5:30, followed by Shoals and Northeast Du Bois at 7:30. In other sectional pairings, on Tuesday, Reveille battles Mitchell at 5:30, followed by North Knox and Washington Catholic at 7:30. The semifinals are Wednesday night starting at 5:30, and the championship is Saturday, October 8th at 6. In Class 2A at Washington, the host Hatchets face Southridge in the opener Tuesday at 7 p.m., with the winner facing Pike Central. On Wednesday, Sullivan and Princeton face off at 6, while Lincoln and Gibson Southern follow at 8. The semifinals are on Wednesday starting at 6, and the championship is at Saturday at 7.
In girls soccer, the Lincoln Alices were in action twice this week. Last night, they traveled to Evansville to play the Rights Panthers. They were held scoreless, losing by a score of 12-0. On Monday, Maya Miller scored 2 goals in the second half as Lincoln rallied from a 2-1 halftime deficit to beat Sullivan 3-2. Emily Riddle got the Alices on the board 12 minutes into the first half, and despite early trouble, keeper Madeline Grube helped keep the arrows off the board during the second half. The Alices wore pink uniforms as part of their Kid Cancer event to raise awareness.
Northeast Du Bois spoiled senior night for Reveille on Tuesday. The Jeeps shut out the Patriots 5-0 with the win. The Jeeps won the Blue Chip Conference title. They finished with a perfect conference record. Reveille finished the regular season at 2-10-2.
North Knox picked up their first win of the season as they blanked Bloomfield last night 3-0. The Warriors picked up 2 goals in the first half and 1 more in the second. They are 1-11-1 on the season. South Knox had a tough road trip to Gibson Southern on Tuesday as they fell to the host Titans 9-0. Jada Milspog had 9 saves, and Lily Reynolds added 2 more saves for the Spartans, who dropped to 5-8-2 on the season. The Spartans close out their regular season tonight when they host Terre Haute South.
The IHSAA announced the girls' soccer sectional pairings on Sunday. Lincoln will participate in the Class 2A sectional at Jasper. They will play the first game on Tuesday against Pike Central. The nightcap game will be Princeton and South Ridge. Winners from the first night will square off on Thursday, while the second game will feature Washington and Jasper. The 1A sectional will take place at Sullivan. Reveille and North Knox will play each other on Tuesday. The winner of the match will play Sullivan. South Knox will take on Bloomfield, while WRV will meet Washington Catholic in the Wednesday matchups, with the semifinal game set for Thursday. The title game will take place on Saturday.
It was another busy week of high school volleyball action. Last night, Lincoln played their second game in a row as they hosted Evansville North. Despite 7 kills from Ari Gherkin and 6 from Macy Taylor, the Huskies defeated the Alices 3-0. Lincoln nearly came back from a 24-17 deficit in the first set, cutting North's lead to 24-22. but the Huskies finished off the set. On Tuesday, the Alices fell in straight sets to Bar Reeve. Lincoln will play at county rival South Knox tonight.
Reveille traveled to Evansville Central on Monday. The Patriots came away with a 3-set victory. Reese McBee paced the winners with 14 kills, while Mary Herman added 12. Kennedy Fry had 19 assists and 17 digs. Tonight, the Patriots will celebrate senior night when they host North Central.
South Knox picked up 2 wins on the road this week. Tuesday, the Spartans swept Evansville Christian 3-0. Bryn Hill paced South Knox with 12 kills and 4 blocks, while Addie DeLille added 7 kills, 6 aces, and 11 digs. Monday, the Spartans won at Bloomfield 3-1. They host Lincoln tonight.
North Knox was at Bloomfield on Tuesday. They shut out the Cardinals 3-0. Alex McKinley led the Lady Warriors with 14 points and 23 assists. Brianna Collins added 10 kills, 11 digs, and 14 assists. Tonight, they travel to Bar Reeve to play a conference game against the Vikings.
The Vincennes University volleyball team extended their Region 24 streak to 18 games by going the distance to beat Kaskaskia, 27-25, 23-25, 19-25, 27-25, and 15-11. Paige Parlanti finished with a double-double. She had 29 kills and 26 digs. Aubrey Boos finished with a career-high 23 kills. She had 10 digs and 5 stuff blocks. The win moves the Blazers' record to 17-5, and they will be back in action tonight at the PE Complex when they host Region 24 opponent Wabash Valley. It will also be faculty and staff appreciation night. It may technically be the off-season in college baseball, but the VU Trailblazers are hard at work on the diamond with their fall baseball schedule. The Trailblazers have been holding games and practices this September and have more to come in October, all to gear up for 2023. VU looks to improve a 25-32 campaign last season and has 20 sophomores coming back this spring. Head coach Chris Barney has high expectations for his squad.
Well, obviously, every year we're striving to be the conference champions of the Midwest Athletic Conference, and that's our first goal. But obviously, we want to play well. We've got a good everyday club. Our pitching depth is a lot better than what it has been in the past. So I feel like we've got a really good shot at being very competitive in that league this year.
The fall season concludes with the Inter-Squad Steak and Hot Dog World Series at the end of October, including a special Halloween game Sunday, October 30th at 5:30 p.m. at Jerry Bleckmer Field. Fans can have free popcorn, and kids are encouraged to wear costumes and will have a chance to run the bases. Freebies will also be available for VU students.
And that's all for this edition of Sports Buzz. For everyone here at Vincennes University Broadcasting, I'm Ethan Dotson.
And I'm Dalton Ewer. Join us again next week.